We're live here on Facebook as well here. So we're going to figure this out. We're kind of doing something a little bit new. So let's think about this real quick, guys. What y'all think about this LSU Tiger softball team this year, Juicy, as we enter the 2026 season?
Depth and
Bear, you
pitching for
there?
sure. They got,
Here.
they solidified with Macy.
Okay. Just making sure because everybody kind of disappeared on the screen for a little bit there.
Okay, start over.
So Bear, what you think about this 2026 LSU Tiger softball team?
probably him.
Let's see. Um, Preseason polls came out. Number 13 in USA softball. Number 12 in softball, both softball America and D1 baseball. We're looking at 12 returning starters, or 12 returning players, 7 starters, 11 newcomers, and this was supposedly a very highly talented both recruiting class and transfer portal class. So, I mean, looks like we got pretty good depth at pitching. We'll get more into that in a minute. Um, of course, we got Tori Edwards coming back, who is the SEC Freshman of the Year, 383, 18 homers, 73 RBI. Macy Badger back behind the plate, and also Char Lawrence as well, freshman All American, 368 average. So I mean, we'll get more into it in a minute, but I mean, according to Beth Torino, and from what I've been seeing, this is probably one of the deepest teams I see has in the last few years in Baton Rouge.
Well, number 13. I mean, I guess it's fair with the rank. Get the ranking part out the way. I guess it's fair on paper. They got a lot of depth, but I feel like we said this about a few other Beth Arenas teams here in recent years in the past. Like they're always like, "Oh, this is the best team," or "This is the deepest team," and they never make it. But I'm not gonna get there. It's not. We're not even in the season yet. It's just we're talking about the preview, so it looks good on paper. Like Bear said, they got several returning starters. They got some some good pitching coming back. They got Jaden Heavener, uh, an impressive freshman last year. Now she's sophomore. Macy Bajeron, strong bat. Julia Lassiter. So team captains for the first time in several years. They've named actual team captains, and Tori Edwards. So I mean, yeah, that's looking good depth wise, but like I said, I'm not gonna hype it up or be sold on it yet.
Season the 13 ranking is fair because the one big question remains is Beth Torino going to underutilize this team as she has in years past? Last year they supposedly had a good team, and then you end up getting blown out at home to Southeastern in a regional, who then turned around and got blown out by UCLA in a super regional. So, I mean, last year was definitely underwhelming, as a performance wise and expectation wise. And I mean, let's be honest here. Beth Torino goes 500 again in conference play. I mean, there's no way that you can keep her on. Like you gotta do something else. You gotta make a move.
One second, let me unmute myself. Yeah, so it's been about 10 years since LSU actually made it to the Women's College World Series. So that is something that we're going to have to look at here when we go look at like comparing these teams here. And LSU's got a lot of talent on the chart here. They're ranked all across the board in the top 25. So is you have it right? You have it on what is set on paper for this LSU softball team to make a big run in top six, but we haven't seen that in a while. In this new era of NIL, Bear, do you think it's Tarina? Is it the budget for LSU? Which way you think you're kind of leaning toward that?
I really don't think NIL is an issue. I mean, looking at some of these players that they have coming in, I mean, they got some pretty decent transfers coming into this class. So I mean, I honestly, hang on here. Let me I mean, I don't think NIL is an issue, honestly.
Talent nor depth. It has to be somewhat of a Tarina issue. I mean, she might not be all to blame, but you are the coach, and it ultimately falls back on you when your team underwhelms and underperforms time and time again. Uh, it ultimately falls on her. So I mean, it's not the. I don't think it's the lack of NIL like Bear was saying, because like there's plenty of star talent on there. It's just I think it's a lack of, I guess you could say, full development on her part.
Because I'm looking at, right here what I was trying to find. They have Char Lawrence or Cher or Lawrence. She was one of the transfers that came in this LSU transfer class, and she's ranked as the number 64 player in preseason. To me,
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how all that works out and stuff. So with all this stuff,
I see that. Got it right here on my computer, but I can't screen share it with y'all. Conference schedule is pretty. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice because on the actual website, like as you scroll down, like the schedule scrolls with you, and then you finish it, and it goes to the next one, and you can scroll through it up until the end of the season. So like I think they came out pretty good.
all right. So I got the schedule pulled up here.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Finally
It's
got it
a
right here.
tough conference schedule. I'm looking at it on my computer.
So
Start off
LSU
at
is gonna start off. Oh, what were you saying, Bear?
I was just saying, like their first conference series, Friday, March 6th, against Tennessee in Knoxville. Like this schedule is brutal.
Okay. Yeah. So LSU is going to take on NC State for their first game in the Tiger Classic in February 5th. Then they got Nevada on February 6th. Then they take on NC State later on the day at 5:30. Nevada gets played at 3. Then on that Saturday, February 7th, LSU will take on Nevada at 5:30. Then Sunday at February 8th, it's Illinois at 12:30. Then they ended the Tiger Classic at Lamar at 3 p.m. All those games will be played at Tiger Park, so they have plenty of games to choose from in between all your Mardi Gras festivities going on here in South Louisiana. Which one of those teams scare you the most, Bear?
For those four, probably Lamar because that's the you're not expecting him to do much, and you're expecting to go in there and just beat the brakes off of them, and it's always those that come in and stay in the game and stay competitive and put pressure on you by moving runners around the bases, and they end up just finding a way to pull it out. And Lamar had a
Who
sneaky
do you think out of
basket.
that so far early part of the schedule do you see well you think give LSU trouble out of those that we named?
I think NC State, honestly, first game of the year. You got to get that out the way, see what everything's about. What I think NC State, honestly, the first game of the year struggles.
It's that
I bet their RPI is number one. I bet their RPI is number one.
if you're looking at this,
They
it's
went
that
five.
week. Oh, it's that week after when they go to the Clearwater Invitational in Florida, that UCLA game. That's going to be a tough one. Yeah.
Tonight. We'll see. Once we got a week or two in the schedule, they'll probably update the site or whatever, and we'll be able to see what's actually going on with that site there to see what. I like the predictor. It throws out random numbers, but sometimes it can actually give some really interesting information, especially when you get toward the end of the season where you're trying to look where numbers line up, like RPI, net rankings. If you talk about basketball, because it's gonna have all that data put into it here. That way, you're like, okay, this is what number we're looking at if this scenario ends up playing out the way it needs to play out there for your particular team that you're looking at. It's a great resource toward the end of the season, but in the beginning part of the season, I like to see it because it brings out some crazy stuff and just kind of get the reaction what the computer's thinking there. So, Bear, do you think LSU wins all these games in this Tiger Classic or what?
Oh, I mean, they should. I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, I don't think any of these teams outside of Illinois and Lamar, of course, but Lamar in their own right, they played in the Southland Conference. So, I mean, they were good in their own competition. But I mean, Illinois wasn't that bad last year either. But I mean, if LSU has the talent that they're supposed to have and they say that they have, they should win all these games easily. Because according to Beth Torino, we've got the pitching to match up in any situation this year instead of having to play to one specific style. So
I roll my eyes at that.
What you thinking, Juicy? You think they should get through this Tiger Classic?
Yeah, I think they'll do it. They should, like Bear said. I think they will. I mean, I don't have nothing to go off of yet, so except what I see on paper. So, hey, yeah, I think they will. If you're asking me right now,
so you know LSU has 13-1 odds right now to make it to Oklahoma City.
wow, surprised it's not like 100,000 to one.
Wow, we man, uh Juicy's in midseason form already, and I love it. I love it. He's starting to sound
Start.
like
I'm just getting myself ready right now.
there it is.
You
See,
can't
I'm
get
trying to be
disappointed.
nice.
You can't
I'm trying
get
to be nice
disappointed
right
if you
now.
hype yourself. If you get all hyped up and
Juicy's
right
already
now, you
planning the
can be
downfall.
disappointed later.
I'm trying to be nice right now at Beth Torino, but if as the season goes on, depending on how it goes, I mean, it's gonna get worse and worse.
So we have. I got them winning all these games. I mean, there's no reason to pick against them in the beginning here. I'm more worried about the conference play because LSU did go 500 last year.
Yes, and
I
At
think
Oklahoma
if
least
you're
is
they
going
on.
to look at
avoided,
that team
but
last
they
year,
do avoid Texas this
they
year, though.
underachieved last year with the team they had last year,
They do avoid
and that's
Texas
a
this year.
worrying trend, right? And they hadn't been to the Women's College World Series in years, so that is something to actually be worried about if you are an LSU fan.
Oklahoma is on the schedule, just to let you know, but it is in
Yeah.
Baton Rouge.
And Texas
So,
is not on the schedule, though.
no, but still, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Ole Miss,
Yeah, they all
Tennessee,
good.
uh,
It ain't going to be easy for them. That's what I say
Carolina,
right there.
Missouri, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Auburn. So it's pretty tough. It could be worse, but it's not the best. It's
All right, so Nebraska, Oklahoma State, Duke,
yeah.
UCF, UCLA, and South Alabama are in the Shriners Children's Clearwater Invitational that's held in Clearwater, Florida. That's some pretty stout teams in that invitational. What do you think about that one, Bear? In the talking about the schedule here for LSU softball.
Definitely Nebraska, Oklahoma State, UCLA, but UCLA is probably the toughest out of those three. That's some you're gonna find out what you made of early in the season come that week 2. So it's it's either either step up or step out. So let's see what you got, Beth Serena.
Juicy, what you think about that upcoming slate right there?
Well, Oklahoma State's nothing to sneeze at either. They've had some pretty softball teams too. Nebraska, um,
Yeah, but UCLA
UCLA for sure. Well,
are
take the
in the
cake
top
out of
spot.
all of it. Um, I think UCLA would be their biggest challenge for sure, but I wouldn't sleep on Oklahoma State or Nebraska either.
Yeah, so I think LSU goes through. Let's see, that's 5 games, 6 games in there. Oof.
They're probably gonna split 3-3.
I was thinking 3, but I might go be a little more optimistic and go with 4.
We gonna Juicy done got me stirred up. So it's 3-3. They gonna split.
I'm gonna
We
go
we
with
didn't
4
miss.
on
I'll
that
give them a
one because I'm
3-3
like,
split.
look, you want to try to get them a little bit more. It's not. I don't think everybody's been playing at 100% really at the beginning part of the season. Like well-oiled machine going on there. It's way early in the season, which you might fall on your face here.
It all we got to
Um,
go off of is last year's team, and last year's team would split 3-3 in this series.
yeah, sure
So
enough, did.
that's where we stand right now.
So I got LSU with 2 losses so far. You'll have them with 3. So let's see. Purple and Gold Challenge. Michigan State, Louisiana Raging Cajuns, Michigan State again. That is on the Saturday at 6:30. They play UL at 4 o'clock on that earlier that Saturday at Tiger Park. It's all at Tiger Park, obviously. Purple and Gold Challenge. Michigan State they play on the Friday at 6:30. Howard they played them on Sunday at 1:30. They played McNeese on Tuesday at 6. And February 27th. Wait, that's the LSU invitation. Okay, the Purple and Gold Challenge ends Tuesday.
Yeah, I
Weird
don't
because they
think
skipped like a whole
McNeese
Monday,
goes.
but I mean, hey, makes sense, I guess. The rest of your team up. Anyway, you see, you
No,
got three, four,
it
five.
ends on Sunday because they go to Lake Charles Tuesday.
Juicy. How many games do you think LSU wins in that slate of games?
I'll say they win all of them. I'll give them that one, including McNeese.
What you thinking, Bear?
Oh, they beat Michigan State twice. They beat Howard on the Tuesday. They probably gonna beat McNeese, but I think they're gonna lose to UL because UL always plays them tough, and they just always seem to have our number.
Yeah, I could see that, but
Well,
I'm gonna give them that one.
okay, so D1 softball picked the Cajun to finish fifth in the Sun Belt this year.
I don't see how they should be better than that.
It's just we got gutted when Glasgow left. We lost a lot of good players when he left.
Watched them
They
win
all hit the portal and went to Texas Tech,
or
and
almost.
they were part of that national runner-up team last season. So it's hard to say. I was looking at the numbers, and I was going to talk with Jalen about this tomorrow, but this was the least amount we. If you want to do there's a specific number that I want to talk about. There, okay, with 300 runs being scored by the Cajuns, this is only the third time in the last 25 years that UL did not score over 300 runs in a season this past season. And you saw the results that they had last year. They didn't have a great season last year. Kind of like, it was a kind of like trying to hurt and put a staff together. Habits, last year was kind of just like a band-aid work team as it was. So I do think, as far as how I personally feel about it, I feel like this team's going to take a step ahead, not back to what they were in 2024. Or I think we're going to find somewhere in the middle there. I do think that the Cajuns could be a regional team. Like, looking at what happened with 25, there was a couple of games that they had one or two runs that they could have got there at the end. They lost a lot of one-run games. So it's a matter of just like finishing the job and getting to that next step for them there as a program to get back to where they were. So I think last year might be an anomaly, if anything else, with the way the Cajuns got dealt the hand they had to them in 2025. But I think they'll lose to LSU in this little slate here. I think LSU loses one game out of these. I think they'll beat McNeese. I think they'll beat Howard. Michigan State, let's say they split them there, but I could see them sweeping the whole entire thing too. So worst case scenario, I think they lose one of those. That's how I think. So what's the count at now? I think I'm at what?
I still got 3 losses for them.
Wait, what you said, Juicy?
I still got them at 3 losses.
I'm at 4. UL.
Yeah, I got them at 3 right now. Let's see, I'm going too far down. So you got Nichols in the LSU Invitational. LSU has a lot of home games to start out February. They barely leave Tiger Park.
It don't matter. They still lost most of them games last year.
Nichols, Memphis, Iowa, Memphis again.
Talk about some
They'll
random.
win all these games. They'll win all these games.
And then they start SEC play. But the LSU Challenge doesn't, or LSU Invitational. Oh, wait, never mind. Is it? Wait. Okay.
Yeah.
It goes
March
up to
6th
Tennessee, but that's conference play, and that's a whole like March 6th. End of February is the LSU Invitational. The way they had this laid out is kind of weird, but it's like surprise. Surprise, it ends.
Yeah.
So LSU versus Nichols, then they got LSU versus Memphis, LSU versus Iowa, LSU versus Memphis again. So that's 4 games there at Tiger Park there. Bear, what you thinking about this slate of games for LSU softball?
I mean, they should be able to win all of these games. Big Ten generally not very good in spring sports. Like we discussed on was it last week when the Big Ten they may have taken over in football, but until you got one school in baseball that wins 8 national championships or in softball, then come talk to me. Until then, shut up and leave the room. Let the grown ups play the spring sports.
What you thinking, Juicy?
They'll win all these games too. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think they'll sweep all of them. I think 4 wins is very good for them to have happen there. So I think that's kind of something that I expect to see happen. I think they can win all 4 of these games here. The one game that might trip them up is the Iowa game, but I don't think that it's gonna be one. I would say maybe I'm feeling like 80% chance they'll beat Iowa, which is Iowa. They never really made waves in the softball world too much.
Which
I
80%
said
the new 100%. So
the Big Ten schools don't perform well in spring sports. Leave that to the grown ups. Leave the room. Thanks. Come again.
well, you get a random Big Ten team that makes it like to Omaha or something like every so
This ain't
often.
Omaha. This softball. It's
Well,
not
yeah,
Omaha.
I'm just saying it's for spring sports though in general, baseball and softball. You get like this random Big Ten team that'll make it.
Yeah, that random team is UCLA now. Just so you know.
Yeah, no, the Big Ten does have them now, so yeah.
Yeah, I still get messed up with that, man. It's such a weird thing. Like all the
Yeah,
West Coast teams are in the Big Ten, except for like Stanford and Cal and some of them that they in the
Didn't just
ACC
have a
right now.
baseball team that was a runner-up a couple years ago in Omaha or something,
that was like
or
5 years ago. But
a
it's
few.
six
Yeah,
years.
that was the last time I remember a traditional Big Ten team just randomly making it as a runner-up.
So we're gonna start SEC play.
Oh boy.
A 3-game series against Tennessee, and that is in Knoxville. Bear,
Here we
what you
go.
thinking over there?
I'm thinking Tennessee gets a sweep.
You think you going with a sweep?
Tennessee gets a sweep.
Okay,
Based off of last year's team, Tennessee gets a sweep.
Juicy. I hope you got a better opinion than Bear over there. What you got?
I'm not quite as bearish on that, but I'm definitely gonna say they dropped 2 out of 3 though.
Oh, nice punning. Thanks, bud.
I'm not gonna go with them winning this series just because they went 500 in the SEC last year. I mean, granted,
See?
these teams change so much year to year.
Hey,
You honestly don't know what you have until the season starts because transfer portal, this and that. Just weird things like that going on there. So you really don't know until the season kind of starts until you get to conference play. So, um, it's kind of like you might think you might know that you have a great team, but then you go in there and you end up being surprised. So I think they'll lose 2 or 3 against Tennessee. That's what I'm gonna go with here. I think they'll drop 2 to them. I think they'll
Bear already setting it up for them to go 0-30 in conference play.
We might be looking at 0-6 so far.
All right, LSU gets a midweek game against Nichols. They go on the road to Thibodeau. I think they'll beat Nichols. I think that's kind of an easy midweek
They'll
game. What you
win that
think,
one.
Bear?
Yeah, they should beat Nichols as long as it ain't Southeast Louisiana, because Lord knows that did not go well for us in regionals last year.
What you thinking, Juicy?
They'll beat Nichols.
And then they go to Tiger Park to take on the Aggies of Texas A&M. What you thinking, Bear?
Gonna lose 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, and they said ain't a sweep. In Bears world, they got 1 win in the SEC in the first 6 games.
Hey,
All right, Juicy.
I'll give them a series win on this one. It's in Baton Rouge, I'll cut them some slack. 2 out
Um,
of 3.
okay. Uh, I'm debating on who actually wins the series. I don't think they get through either team gets through this unscathed. Um, I'm gonna go with Texas A&M beating LSU. I think they'll
Yeah,
get 2 or 3 against A&M.
yeah.
So I think that's
You're just as
I got
bearish.
LSU's got a couple All Americans, but A&M's got some too.
Yeah, A&M no slouch. You feeling embarrassed on LSU against A&M?
So I'm 2-6 in the SEC right now.
I got them at 3-3.
At least you got them a little bit better than us.
Bears got them sitting at 1-5 or something.
Hey, that's why we call them Bear.
They would lose
That's why
2
he's
out of
called
3
Bears. This is very
down 1 and
bearish on
5.
everything.
Right now he's a Grizzly Bear.
Yeah, he got him sitting at 1-5 like a bearish.
He got the claws out right now, man.
Oh wait, just wait till baseball season. It gets better. Don't worry.
Someone better hide Beth.
If Beth Torina starts off 0-6, I'm telling you.
All right, South Carolina.
It's gonna laugh.
Bear?
Okay, no. South Carolina's not hasn't been one of the better teams in the SEC over the last few years. So I think LSU gonna get 2 out of 3 on this one.
Okay. Finally. We get a little bit of improvement here. We might be trending somewhere. What you thinking, Juicy?
I'm gonna give him a sweep, man. I think they'll sweep South
He
Carolina.
going with a sweep.
Better than getting
He got the
swept.
broom.
Give me the broom.
Give him the broom. You know what, Juicy? I'll join you. I'll sweep the kitchen, bro. I'm ready. Let's go. I'll give me a sweep against South Carolina. I'm down with that. So, with the sweep there, I'm back up at 5-6.
I'm at 4 and 7.
Well, it should be. I got him at 6-3. Wait, there's
Too
only
much. You're giving Beth Torina too much credit.
Louisiana Tech. Midweek game. Then they got a series against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I got the Tigers beating Louisiana Tech, and I got them getting swept by Oklahoma. Who you got, Bear?
Okay, look, here's the thing. I know you say midweek games don't mean much, but when you need to win everything you
for Beth
can,
Torina they do. For Beth Torina
for
they
Beth
matter.
Torina, they matter. But I hate to say this, but Louisiana Tech always plays us tough. They're going to lose to La Tech, and they're going to get swept by Oklahoma.
They're gonna lose. Oh dang, he's more bearish than you.
Oh man.
Don't
This
worry. My
our new
outlook don't look much better because they gonna beat La Tech and they gonna get swept by Oklahoma also.
look, midweek games, look, it still counts as a win or a loss on the in the books. So it matters. To me, it matters because it counts as a win or a loss and the stats count.
Look,
It's
I
not a
will be the
freebie.
voice of reason about midweek games, okay?
Count. As a win
In
or a loss,
terms
it counts.
of
Well, when your job's
mathematics,
on the
all right?
line, they count. When your job's on the line, they count.
Okay, in terms of mathematics, all right? Would you rather win all your series for the rest of the year, or would you rather just win all your midweek games? Everybody would say series.
No,
Yes,
the goal
series.
the goal is to win them all. Because you play to win the game. You play to win the game.
All right, how many college softball teams have went undefeated in the history of the entire sport?
Oh no, none that I can
None.
think.
They play so many games that you're gonna bound to lose 1 or 2, right?
Yeah, I got you. I understand your reasoning,
I
but
still use the example of when LSU baseball lost to Northwestern State in the midweek game, but look, they still won the Natty. So hey,
I know, but the competitive sportsman in me is like the goal is to try to win as many as you can, even the midweeks. They count too in the wins and losses.
Hey, I agree with you, dude. I think that your team should try to win every single game, but it's
Yeah, I
there's
get
just
it
so
though.
many
Like
games,
the
man. Like it's not like
over.
football where you could drop 2 games and be like, oh my gosh, the season's over, that kind of thing. Like it wasn't a BCS, but I mean now 3 losses get you in the playoff apparently. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. But
Yeah,
like softball, 3 losses, you're like, dang, bro, we're gonna win national championship this year.
yeah, I get it.
Anyway, back to the schedule.
Back to the schedule.
LSU versus Missouri in a 3-game series at April 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th of the year. Bear, how you feel about them against Missouri?
I think they should sweep Missouri. So we're a little bullish on LSU softball now. This
We
time of the year.
sweeping.
a broom? What? You know what a broom
We
is?
got a. Juicy, you got a broom too?
No, I'm gonna give them 2 out of 3 though. I'm gonna say they
Okay,
win.
okay. You know what? I'm gonna go with Juice on this one. I think 2 out of 3. I don't think I'm sweep. I'm gonna go with 2 out of 3 though. I think that's
Missouri is not
a
very
good
good.
calling card for them.
So I got them at 8-7 in conference play right now.
I guess I'm
Then
at
LSU
7.
takes on Central Arkansas next, and then they got a 3-game series against Arizona, randomly placed there in the middle of the conference schedule. Interesting.
Yeah.
Conference
Wow.
play. Interesting.
So I think that'll be Central Arkansas, Arizona. I can see them dropping that series.
Arizona's kind of tough because they've been down the last couple years, but they've had some
Yeah.
good teams.
I'm gonna go with LSU winning, but I would not be surprised if Arizona won that series. What you think, Bear?
Okay, Central Arkansas, obviously we don't know who they are, so that means they're nobody. No disrespect to them. We should win, and I think they're going to lose 2 out of 3 to Arizona.
What you thinking? I mean, Juicy.
I think they'll beat Central Arkansas, and I think they'll win 2 out of 3 against Arizona.
Ooh.
All right, midweek game. They come into Lafayette. Take
Some
on
hard,
the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. So, got to give a shout out to Jalen. Jalen was on the field in 2024 when the Cajuns ended up beating LSU at Lansing. That's the year UL actually went to the Super Regional to play Washington, and we were literally 2 outs away from having a Super Regional at Lansing Park.
Yeah, and they choked
I remember
over it, you know.
Yeah, and McNeese blew it. But I think LSU sweeps the Cajuns this year. I think they'll end up winning that midweek. What you think, Bear?
Nope, still got them losing.
Okay. What you thinking, Juicy?
I think they'll beat UL.
All right. Ole Miss. Next 3-game series. Bear, what you thinking?
Look like an Ole Miss sweep. They were a regional team last year. Ole Miss gonna sweep.
Juicy, what you thinking?
Ole Miss gonna win 2 out of 3.
Okay, he's not as bearish on them.
It's at Tiger Park. If this is on the road, I would say sweep Ole Miss. I think if Ole Miss is playing at home, I think it'd be a sweep. I'm gonna go with 2 out of 3 though. I think Ole Miss wins the series.
Still got them at 9-9 in conference play now.
You trying to say Jeff Serena's job? We over here trying to get her fired.
Hang on, man. We ain't done yet.
It's just 500 record last year. With how much talent they had, I can't really think of like.
That's why that's what I'm basing my picks off of. Until I see different than last year's team, we going with last
I
year's
mean, we're
result.
gonna pick these games again, definitely when it comes up. This is just what we think right now.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. I'm going off of what I saw last year.
I try to be as realistic as I possibly can for a preseason prediction because it's so hard to see in the future. Hey, what's the lottery numbers looking like though? If I manage to nail every single preseason prediction I've ever done since I started doing the fishbowl of sports, I would be the most wealthiest man in the history. You would not see me on the show anymore. I'd
No,
be
we see
gone.
you. We see you. You just have a big fancy studio and a fancy mic and a
Be
big old
driving a
sign,
No,
Lamborghini or
you
a
be
Rolls
running this,
Royce or
Bear.
something.
You be running this whole entire thing. I'm out of
a
there, bro.
sign,
I
a
ain't got no
sign,
friends.
a big old sponsorship sign behind you,
Be driving a
fishbowls,
Lambo and a
light,
Rolls
all kind of
Royce or
stuff.
something.
I'll
You
be
know.
telling my butlers to go fetch me a bar of soap out of my 20 bathrooms in my mansion on the island somewhere.
No, if I
All
had
right.
that kind of,
Well,
yeah, back to
sadly, I'm not good at predicting the preseason or the future, so here I am. 3-game series against Mississippi State. Game times haven't been announced for that one yet.
that ain't
Um,
good.
it's
It
at
ain't gonna
Mississippi
matter
State.
anyway.
What you think, Bear?
I don't know. State wasn't very good last year, and I don't know. Based off of last year's LSU team, they win 2 out of 3. We'll go with that.
Okay. What you thinking, Juicy?
Yeah, I'll give them 2 out of 3 and start Vegas over there. I'll say they'll win it.
Yeah, Mississippi State wasn't all that great last year. I do agree with both of y'all. I think 2 out of 3 is the way to go. So I'm gonna go with Tigers winning 2 out of 3 on the road. McNeese, and then we got the Auburn series coming up on this schedule here. I think Tigers take care of McNeese. What you thinking, Bear?
Yeah, they should take care of McNeese, and they should win 2 out of 3 against Auburn.
What you thinking, Juicy?
They beat McNeese and they take 2 out of 3 against Auburn.
Hey!
I'm gonna agree with both of you. I think 2 out of 3 against Auburn.
Hey! We
Yeah,
actually
I
all
think that's
agree. Of course, the final series of the season, we all agree on the same pick.
yeah. And they got the SEC tournament. It's in Lexington. I know Bear
And,
has some strong feelings about that.
that park is so ugh. Golly, man. Oh, that makes it. I mean, too bad they don't have a stadium like Hoover somewhere they can go play in.
So I got them at 13 and 11 in conference play.
I don't even know where I'm at. Probably 10 and 14.
Probably 6 and 18 or something.
10 and 14, I think I'm at.
So once this season's over with, I know this is kind of the hot burning question. A lot of LSU fans want Beth Torina gone. Do you think she's still the head coach of the LSU Tigers in 2027, Bear? Yes or no?
Short answer. Well, long answer. Depending on the season's results, based off this supposed talent, the most talented team or whatever. It's OKC or bust. You don't get to OKC. Short answer, no. She's gone.
Juicy?
I agree. OKC or bust, or if I was gonna say, I mean, if she don't even finish 500 or make NCAA tournament, make it out of the regionals, but basically it's OKC or bust at this point. So I wanted her going last year, so I don't know how she survived that, but
She's a good salesman.
I got a question for both of y'all.
What you got?
And I'll let Barry answer first, and Juicy will go. What? Okay, so what is y'all expectations for the LSU softball program? Give me like a diagram. New coach comes in, first 4 years. What are y'all expecting out of them? Let's start you, Bear.
So if Torino happens to make OKC, as we said, OKC or bust, she keeps her job. Hopefully they can sustain enough NIL funding to continue the success. But if not, new coach comes in, and I mean, we may keep everybody, we may lose the whole team. Obviously, coach leaves, players are going to transfer out, but you hope that the next coach comes in and just be able to rebuild this program and get it back to championship form, or at least somewhat of a championship form. And it play up to the LSU brand expectations.
What you thinking, Juicy?
Well, if like he said, if she makes the OKC, all is good, but she at least get her another year. But if not, well, it's like you said, the players will leave, not just that, you lose a lot of depth, but then you would have to have a coach who could either play the transfer portal well, and if he does, then they could be rebuilt no time, and then uh, be a championship contender right away. But if they all leave, it does make an impact, make it hard to rebuild. You might have a year or two off, so before you get back. But I mean, expectation is to get back to that and know LSU softball for what we used to them being from years past, and getting it back, and I mean ultimately about winning games. I mean, that's the expectation, to win some games. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
Okay.
That's what, that's the old cliche.
So, um, I think super regional by year 3 should be a good run. You get like kind of like that's your baseline, right? I think the LSU softball program is a super regional kind of team. They're not going to be in Omaha. I'm not Omaha. They're not going to be at OKC every single year like LSU baseball is kind of expected to be. I know it's kind of rough to set that standard for them because they haven't really done it yet. Like got to that
Hold
Oklahoma
on.
kind of level.
Hold the phone. We can't sit here and say that LSU softball can't. If UCLA can do it, and Oklahoma can do it, and Texas can
Alabama
do
was
it,
doing it. Alabama was
Alabama
doing
every
it.
year, go to OKC every year. LSU can absolutely do it too. We gotta have the right coaching staff to rebuild this team to do it if it comes to that.
My logic is the fact that every program across America, it doesn't matter if you're Oklahoma, Alabama, LSU, Florida, Georgia, whatever, they all have one sport that they're not quite top of anything. And like, the idea of a fan base is like, oh, they're gonna be top at this sport like basketball and stuff like that. But basketball, we haven't really seen that. So that might be LSU's bottom sport of their top 3, with baseball, softball, and, the other ones there. The men's basketball is what I'm specifically talking about right now. But um softball, I think super regional. I think that's kind of where they should be at because they're I think they're like a top 20 program. I don't think they're a top 8, which would be OKC level. They might break in there. They might snag a natty or two in like a 10-year period, but I think they're kind of like a super regional S team. They might get lucky and get 2 in 10 years, but I think they might get 1 in 10 years. Where my expectation for them would be at.
That's not gonna cut the mustard. That's not gonna get you to OKC a national championship.
We'll see.
We,
NIL
we
has been changing everything.
we
So
are LSU. We expect to win every year, especially in the spring sports, gymnastics, baseball, softball. Like we expect to be competing for national titles every year. And if Beth Arena's not the coach for that, then let's go. I mean, we have no issue paying Lane Kiffin $13 million a year. Let's go find us a softball coach that we can pay top money for that'll come and take this program to the next level.
Jay Johnson's making like
I,
almost $4 million a
I
year.
I do find it interesting that Taylor Pleasance is an assistant coach for LSU's softball team this year. So we'll see how she does.
Yeah, I mean, she was a great player herself. Very
Yeah.
talented player.
Yep, very talented player. I agree.
Who is
So
LSU softball team's X factor that you think has to have a great year for them to go to OKC? What you thinking, Bear?
gotta be one of those pitchers. I mean, they are doing a pitch by committee, so obviously Jaden Heavener is going to be the number one. But I mean, you got Clopton. Clopton came on to the scene last year. Everybody knows her. The only ones like it would either have to be Salora or Monticelli. Those are two transfer pitchers that came in, but those I think those two would have to be that. One of those would have to be your X factor.
What you thinking, Juicy?
Yeah, I agree. It'd be one of those transfer pitchers that'd be have to be an X factor that we don't really know much about how they're gonna do in a bigger stage on the SEC play or from any other school really. But yeah, it's always the transfer port people that are gonna be X factors.
I'm going with Peyton Monticelli as the X factor. I mean, she pitched for in
Oklahoma.
the Northwoods League softball last year for Madison. I mean, and this she went 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, 9 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks. I mean, obviously 5 runs in softball. I mean, it's different in baseball. I mean, 5 runs will get you run out of a game, but in softball it's a little more forgiving. But still, like I mean, we haven't really seen much of her, and I mean, I think she's gonna be the X factor. We know what Clopton can do. We know what Heavener can do, but it's gonna be Monticelli or Salura, those the new transfers. It's gonna be one of those two. Those are gonna be your X factors in the pitching staff. Because according to what Beth Torino said, LSU's like it's gonna be a pitch. It's gonna be a pitching by committee, and not only you know pitching by committee, like when you by committee, but she says that we are because of the pitching staff and the depth that they have, it allows them to match up with the situation rather than to force rigid roles. And she said we've got pitchers that can throw great breaking balls, great fastballs, with lefties, up, down, left-handed, change-ups, whatever. So, I mean, obviously, like I said, we're discussing, I mean, X factors, but I mean, Heavener is going to be your ace. Like 13-5, 2.75 ERA, and 152 strikeouts. I mean, in baseball, that's outstanding. In softball, that's even better because the field is so much smaller in softball. But to have a 2.75 ERA and 152 strikeouts, like that's not anything to sneeze at. So she says the pitching staff is good, it is deep. So I mean, but like I said, it's gonna be Monticelli or Salora as my two X factors to the pitching staff because we haven't seen them, but they're exceptional pitchers.
Yep. Uh,
It's one of those things, and I'll probably talk about this at LSU baseball too. It's one of those things that it's basically an embarrassment of riches. Like you have so much talent, so much competition, but you only have 9 positions that you can field. So you hope that you can utilize what you have depth wise to be able to overcome some of these deficits that plagued you last year. Some of these, in some of these difficulties that plagued you last year with not being able to move the ball around, get runners in scoring position. Obviously, pitching was a liability because outside of Sydney Burzon, you really didn't have anybody else besides Clopton. And she came on late in the season. By then, it was too late. So, to replace you also happen to replace. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Danica Coffey. You're having to replace Danica Coffey. That's a big role to fill. She was one of your big leaders last year.
yep. So yeah, it's gonna see like who steps to the plate for that senior leadership. Maybe Macy Bergeron can maybe step up a little bit more this year. Maybe might become an X factor on that offensive side.
Well, you would hope that your team captains that were elected by your team would step up and be that leadership. Jalea Lassiter is for sure, and Tori Edwards and Macy Bergeron. Those are your team captains. Those are the three you expect to step up and make a difference.
What you thinking, Juicy?
Well, I kind of y'all just reiterating what y'all had said. I mean, it's
You feeling bearish?
yeah, I'm feeling kind of
Yeah.
bearish, but I want to be optimistic. I want to be like optimistically bearish, I guess you could say.
See, the Bears are bullish, buddy. You can't be
You can't be in the middle, I know, but
you can't be optimistically bearish. That's basically come on now.
All right, y'all. Anything else y'all want to talk about before we get off here?
no, I think that's it.
Looking forward to our baseball preview show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's coming too. Or
get very
next
riled
week
up
here.
about that one.
It's gonna be a fun
Yeah.
one. It's gonna be a fun one.
It's gonna be a good.
Thank y'all for tuning in here to the Fishbowl Sports. Hope you have a great and wonderful night. We'll see you here next time here on Fishbowl Sports here. Have a good night, Fishbowl Nation.
Good night.
Good night, Fishbowl Nation.